A number of men take turns mashing a grass rope that has toxic residues. Others make baskets that will be used to carry the fish back to the village. They know that they're going to have a good fishing day. After submerging the mortal load, the fish that were hidden until then begin to emerge due to the lack of oxygen. This is a poison that is effective for only a few minutes and leaves no tracks in the ecosystem. What happens next, once again, is sheer marksmanship. In this case, with very small and extremely precise bows, with more than sufficient results. Exactly 70 fish with unpronounceable names are caught in 1 hour. The Zo'é need only a few minutes to become invisible. This ability is important when it comes to hunting down cutilla, a fair-sized rodent that is known in all of South America for its delicious meat. The Zo'é know how to be patient, and in the end, the cutilla and its keen sense of hearing all wind up in the pot. In addition to different types of game, our friends eat fish, as we've already seen, fruit, berries, and eggs. Also insects on occasion, and of course, the different types of seasonings that they cultivate, such as hot peppers, to which they're accustomed. They're unfamiliar with salt, and their beautiful bodies are a reflection of a balanced diet. They're hunters, harvesters, and occasional farmers. Up to 5 types of wild cassava are produced on this farm. After carefully processing this plant, familiar to millions of stomachs throughout South America, they obtain a flour that is used for many different purposes. They press it so that it loses the chemical trap that's enclosed within it, the hydrocyanic acid, 4 drops of which can kill a human being. After having removed the danger, and having been put on the fire on top of a clay grill, the miracle of bread once again occurs thanks to the cassava. The Zo'é do not know what the sea is, but they are familiar with dunking. Their spoons are made out of monkey skulls, and their plates are made from the gourds that they also grow, all fit to enjoy the occasion until the day ends. Up in the heights, there's nothing better than a scaffold. 10 meters from the ground, the skin of this tree is the best suited for the work they have to do. That's right, we said skin, and we're not mistaken, because these young men have come here specifically to skin a sheepy. Like cork oaks, these trees occasionally undress to serve man. With a stone mace called a yitak, they slowly separate the bark from the tree trunk. It's hard work, but an entire strip of sheepy is well worth the effort. A number of men have worked today for something that only one of them will be able to enjoy. Today it's for you, tomorrow it's for me. Comfortable hammocks such as this one are made from that skin. This string is removed from the skin, and turning it into balls of thread, this tree becomes functional. With skill, this Penelope, who waits for no one, puts her whole body in motion in a gymnastic exercise that will bring her great rewards. It's not an easy task to sleep well, and to do so a meter up from the ground is also dangerous. The hammock should be comfortable and light, and should inspire confidence. That's what this rope called kurana is for. Properly interlaced, this spider web will hold our weight with no weak points. Another domestic work of art. The time for manual labor is also the time for words. Nuhi, Tuhu, and Bonda give their neighbor a helping hand. She has 4 husbands with which she shares her affection and her hammock. Meanwhile, Kuri, with her small child in her arms, seems to be remembering her pregnancy. As an earthy woman, she feels this to be just another happy episode, not a pathology to be afraid of. Until the very day they give birth, the Zo'é women are very active. They're still nomads. Before their pregnancy, they control their menstruations to the point of having 2 menstruations in the same month, or none during 4 months, depending on their sexual appetite. For this purpose, they use the bark of a tree that only the women are familiar with, and they refuse to show the men this tree. We're not familiar with the abortion techniques amongst the Zo'é women, but we are familiar with their family planning. This traveling village can't afford the luxury of unwanted pregnancies. The birth of a child is an event celebrated by this tribe, and the death of one is a mournful occasion. Tears are a private matter. Such pain is not expressed in public. They believe that if the father is witness to the birth, the child could lose its sight. Therefore, everything is in the hands of the elder women who act as midwives. In spite of this, Boy has not missed a second of the marvelous adventure of fatherhood. Next to the child's mother, today, he and the rest of his children celebrate his new child's first month in this world by dressing up as a woman. Nice baptism. All the men dress up as women and present a sincere tribute to femininity. Boy will walk around the village dressed like this for a few weeks, as manly as ever, but dressed as a woman. Once again, the color red is present, and a mixture of the uruku and oil anoints these fibrous bodies. Today they are banners, the banner of life and community, the color of the blood that joins them. The little newborn boy has also been crowned as a queen. At least during the following weeks, the 2 sexes will blend, ignoring the sexist differences, and sharing the pride of belonging to the human species. We're approaching the end of this journey through the time machine. We've learned many things that can be summed up in one very important sentence. We are not alone in the world. It's curious to see that in this age of the internet and globalization, when we're searching for life on Mars, and when the genetic code overwhelms us, human beings that live isolated on the edge of civilization still exist. There are no leaders among the Zo'é. Men and women divide their pleasures equally, and between them, they equally share the responsibilities of daily life. They live in harmony with nature, and can't conceive another way of being human. Together with other ethnic groups that we have no contact with, these are a people that have things to teach us, accurate answers to our eternal questions. They are the Zo'é, the lovely people as we call them, because we love them. I'm honored to bear this improvised torch, the baton that a whole people has passed to me to hold thousands of kilometers from where they live, here in my house in downtown Madrid. I do so in the name of each and every member of the film crew who have lived unforgettable experiences with the Zo'é. You've been able to enjoy an hour of television about a people who are probably unknown to your minds and your hearts. If it were up to us, this flame would never go out. It's the flame that symbolizes the culture of a living people, the Zo'é. We haven't revealed to you what corner of the Amazon the Zo'é live in, but without a doubt, believe me, the Zo'é exist. Some white men are on the side of those that live in isolation. Some of them would give their lives for an indigenous world that needs them. We've been with them, and thanks to the affection that the Zo'é people feel towards them, we've been able to film the episode that you've just seen. They're the civil servants of the FUNAI, the Isolated Indian Department. In our next episode, you'll meet their leader, Sidney Pozuelo, the voice of the jungle. We'll go over the highlights in the struggle for basic justice for the indigenous tribes of Brazil. It will be a program filmed from the trenches, in which a man such as Pozuelo will tell us that the battle is not lost, but is still far from being won. There's been too much bloodshed in a modern country that doesn't have things very clear concerning the indigenous world. Sidney and his fight will be featured in our next episode because there are still thousands of indigenous people who are searching for their place in the Brazil of the third millennium.